What have we just witnessed? That was an exceptional game of football. What a moment that was. You know, when you get these moments in football, we really should cherish them. It's a wonderful game, isn't it? And football is just unmatched. Nothing comes close. We were a Rizzler paper away from Garnacho giving Manchester United the 3 points. Fine margins. Suddenly, Manchester United have lost 3-1. It was an amazing day for Arsenal, and Arsenal's season has officially started. Okay, they stuttered at the beginning, and it's taken until the fourth game, the 90th minute of the fourth game for Arsenal season to actually start, but it has started today. They mean business. That kind of result will live for a long time in this season. People will be talking about this result and the significance of this result for a long time. That was exceptional from Arsenal because they answered so many critics. What is one criticism that is levelled at Arsenal all the time? If you're an Arsenal fan, I'm sure that you can empathise with this. What do people say to you? They constantly say, you're bottlers. They constantly say, you don't have the fight. They constantly say, you don't have the minerals. How can anyone say that anymore? You cannot label Arsenal bottlers when they beat Manchester United in the last minute of the game. Of course they're not bottlers. They've demonstrated that they have the fight. They have demonstrated that they have the minerals. And they have demonstrated that they are desperate for the Premier League title. Okay, beating Manchester City to the title is going to be so difficult, but you could see in that rapturous stadium at the end of the game that they believe that they can do it, and they have to believe because they can. They are a wonderful team, Arsenal. They are so good on the pitch. Kind of pains me to say it, to be totally frank with you, but they are elite. You look at some of their players, they are truly exceptional. And the one thing that they didn't have was the fight. We felt like there was an underbelly. We felt like there was a vulnerability. Declan Rice, signing a player of his quality, has been brought in to eradicate that underbelly. We know that he is tenacious. We know that he is mean-spirited. We know that he is somebody who goes for the jugular. And we know that he has what it takes to drive his team to silverware. We know it because we have seen it. There is data to back it up. And one of the main reasons why West Ham United planted their flag in European soil was Declan Rice. Arsenal signed him and look what he's done. He has already replicated exactly that spirit. Exactly the player that Arsenal were hoping they would sign, they have signed. He has popped up in the last minute off the back of Garnacho nearly scoring. Well, scoring and it not counting. Off the back of that, you know, the emotion in that stadium must have been palpable. Arsenal thought they'd lost it. The away end was going potty. Everything changed. The game is still a draw. And suddenly, Declan Rice, off the back of a set piece, finds himself in the box. He pulls it down, so calm, so collected. And then what does he do? He doesn't try and be clever. He doesn't try and do anything too out of the ordinary. He doesn't do anything too ridiculous. He hits it hard, he hits it true, and he hits it at the near post. Onana, I imagine, will be a little bit disappointed. Johnny Evans, I imagine, will be a little bit disappointed. But Declan Rice did everything perfectly. And that is why Arsenal need to be taken seriously. You know, I've heard a lot of people already discount Arsenal from the league. You know, dropping points at Fulham is significant, don't get me wrong. They really shouldn't have dropped points against Fulham. And the way that they can see goals early in games is a problem. The way that they end up going a goal down is a problem. And it's something that needs to be rectified. There's a lot going on at Arsenal, and I certainly agree that a lot needs to be rectified, but they have the spirit for the fight. They have demonstrated that. Gabriel Jesus as well, back on the score sheet. They really are back. It was a huge moment today. It's a late win. It's a title statement. And I guess we could now explore a conversation that I don't even think is that relevant. Did they deserve the victory? Did Arsenal do everything to deserve the victory? Were they that much better than Manchester United? Did they captivate? Did they do a lot more than Manchester United? I think the answer to all of the above is probably not. But does anyone care? It was an erratic game. It was small margins. It's two of the biggest clubs in the country going head to head. The history between these two clubs is there for all to see. You know, it wasn't that long ago. You know, you're talking what, maybe 30 years? Where these two teams played each other at Old Trafford and had points docked because it was so hostile. They were the players, Nigel Winterburn, David Rocastle, Brian McClare, they had a fight on the pitch and both teams were docked points. That's how significant the rivalry was. That's not even talking about what happened between Ferguson and Wenger or Keane and Vieira. The history between these two clubs is there for all to see. They are two British institutions and they have gone head to head today. And the fact that Arsenal have come out on top is so symbolic for who Arsenal want to be. Arsenal want to test Manchester City. Arsenal want to win the league. And I'm afraid if you drop points to Fulham at home and then this iteration of Manchester United, you aren't going to win the league. There are very fine margins in this Premier League title race. And Manchester City give no ground. Manchester City concede no ground. They've played 4, they've won 4. So I'm afraid if you drop points to Fulham and Manchester United in consecutive weekends at home, you will not be winning the league. And Arsenal knew that. And that is why they were so desperate for the victory. That is why they can now be happy. They're going into an international break, not only off the back of a victory, but off the back of a rousing victory against one of your biggest rivals in one of the most perfect situations ever. Declan Rice scoring goals. The Emirates on fire. The stand, limbs galore. Ice Ice Baby ringing out. Parties on the streets of N1. You know, Upper Street will be a carnival today and the belief will be back. And Arsenal now sit a measly couple of points behind Manchester City in the league. They will be happy with that. They're going into an international break in 5th place, just 2 points behind. I think that's okay. You know, there's a lot to talk about in this game. We should probably talk about VAR, although I can't quite bring myself to do it. I hate VAR. I hate what it represents. Apparently, the decision was correct. I think Gabriel managed to contort his body to make sure that he that he played the player offside. But annoyingly for me, Garnacho should have been onside. I think Højlund was involved in the build-up. Lovely little flick. Casemiro, wonderful ball. Great finish from Garnacho. But we were robbed of a moment there because that isn't what offside is supposed to be. If you are a Rizla paper on or offside, that isn't it. So I find it frustrating, but apparently the right decision came up and I got it wrong on the live. So I will apologise to everybody for that. But I still find what VAR subtracts from us, what it robs from us, steals from us as football fans is painful. But I don't even want to focus on that. I want to focus on the football because it was just a wonderful festival of football. You know, I thought Højlund looked lively when he came on. If you're looking for positives for Manchester United, I don't think Anthony had the worst game in the world either, weirdly. But today isn't about Manchester United. You know, a great goal from Marcus Rashford as well. But today is about Arsenal. The resilience to bounce back off the back of Aaron Ramsdale conceding that goal to Marcus Rashford. For Manchester United to score a goal like that at the Emirates and Arsenal to answer it immediately. Wallop, a wonderful goal from Martin Odegaard, who is just a sensational player. It shows you who they are. That resilience, that ability to bounce back. That never say die attitude. Do you know what? Everything that you learn about Arsenal in that moment, they've gone a goal down at home. They've lost points at home last week. The feeling in the stadium must have been terrifying. You know, it was very much edgy. They know they needed a victory and they've gone 1-0 down. Rashford scored. What do? Do they shrink? Are they bottle jobs? Are they lacking in fight and heart and tenacity? No, they equalise straight away. Suddenly, Garnacho again. They think the game's over. In injury time, it's a disaster. They get away with it. And what do? They score 2 more goals. That, I'm afraid, annoyingly, is the hallmark of champions. They are totally capable of winning the league. Let's keep our fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but I fear that there is an inevitability to this Arsenal team. What we saw today is a statement, seminal moment in the season. And as much as I don't ever want to see Arsenal win, the drama, the beauty, the poetry, and the unrivaled, unmatched nature of Premier League football. I loved it. I really did. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And please do click subscribe. It would be my honour to welcome you into this community. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be in the comments the second this is up. So let me know what you're thinking. Cheers.